Well, my path is a little bit different compared to a lot of other people. I kind of went to medical school having an idea that I was going to be in either this subspecialty or probably ear, nose, and throat was my second choice. And a lot of ophthalmology, ENT, we tend to, one tends to look at the other. But I was pretty sure I wanted to be in the head and neck region, um, just in general. But my path is a little bit different because when I was an undergrad, I did research on a single-celled organism and how it responded to blue light, and the corollaries between this single-celled organism, is basically a fungus. Um, and the corollaries between that and how our eye actually sees light are actually very similar. And so I had to learn a lot about how different organisms processed light energy, and it got me interested in eyes. And then when I graduated undergrad, I didn't go directly into medical school. I couldn't get into medical school. It's incredibly competitive, and quite frankly, it's just you never really know, no matter how good of a student you are, if you're actually going to have a spot. Um, so between the time that I graduated undergrad and went to medical school, I worked in an operating room, and I basically did every job in the operating room. And one of the things that I found was that outside of the lifestyle that ophthalmologists have, which is pretty unique for a lot of physician subspecialties, it's probably on the lower end of time commitments, um, that the ophthalmologist got to sit down when they operated, which was big because I started to notice that a lot of general surgeons, neurosurgeons, they stood a lot, orthopedic surgeons, and they had neck and back injuries when they got older. That sort of prevented them from doing some of the things that maybe they wanted to do when they were older, whereas ophthalmologists were sitting down to operate. The surgeries were fast. We could do a cataract surgery. I can do a cataract surgery under 5 minutes. And so being able to do high turnover surgery with low complication rates appealed greatly to me. And the ability to operate under a microscope is something that I just have a talent for. And so putting those things kind of together made a whole lot of sense. Some people just are not very facile with where their hands are under a microscope. It's a foreign concept, and you have to have that skill set. And I fortunately have that ability to do that. And one of the things that I did when I was in medical school at Virginia, that I'm not sure if they still do it. It was a little controversial at the time. There was in my third or fourth year as an elective, you could take what's called a microvascular surgical course. And it was about a 6-week block of time where essentially you took laboratory rats that were already going to be disposed of, if you will, and we severed their femoral artery and vein, and we had to sew them back up under the microscope. And so you could learn real quickly if you had the skills to be able to, utilize instrumentation, know where your hands are, and throw sutures that are very fine gauge, in a tight working distance. It's just not a skill that a lot of people, are comfortable with or have the innate ability to do. But that actually taught me very well that I knew that I could do this job very easily because I had no issues doing that under the microscope. And then from there, it's just more going through electives and things of that nature, and making sure that you understand all the different subsections of ophthalmology and you like it.